everyone! Today is our last day of the program year for bedtime stories. Maybe I'm a little loud because it's bedtime for bedtime stories, but it's still during the day. And I'm excited because I've chosen a couple of books for the theme of Father's Day. We have a lot of holidays going on this weekend. We got Juneteenth on Friday, which we talked about on Tuesday's All Ages activity. Then we have the summer solstice, which is Saturday into Sunday, and then Sunday is Father's Day. I don't have any summer solstice books with me, but the final book that I'm going to read has to do with the environment in general, because I think that's important. But let's start with two books that have to do with fathers, and who better to read them to their father than my two children. So the first child that's going to read is Amanda.
Me.
And this is a book that I believe she picked out and gave to me as a gift. And it's called?
Daddy is my hero!
And it's by Don Richards and Jane Massey. I don't know who the illustrator is, it doesn't say. Maybe they both are. You can read.
My daddy looks quite normal, no different from the rest. Pictures.
Oh, yes. So here he is just hanging out. But
my daddy is a hero, the greatest dad, the best. My daddy does the shopping, he cooks and cleans for me, but if you think that's all he does, well, you just wait and see. My daddy is a sheriff. He rides night and day. He captures wicked outlaws and locks them all away.
don't know if I do that.
My daddy is a knight. Of old, he's always on a quest. He battles gritty dragons and saves people in distress.
Sometimes I save dragons because they're nice. They just can be a little fist.
My dad runs and baths for me with bubbles and shampoo. He helps me with my toothbrush, but there's much more he can do.
Much more? What else could I possibly do?
My daddy is a captain. He sails across the sea, and when I'm caught by pirates, he's there to rescue me. My daddy is a deep-sea diver. He swims beneath the blue. He battles with the sea monsters and finds sunken treasure, too.
Octopus isn't a monster, and that one's smiling. Uh-oh.
My daddy doesn't always win. He isn't always right. But sometimes I get mad at him, and sometimes there's a fight.
Well, what's going on there? He looks like he's saying it's time for something.
But I know my daddy loves me. He's always there. I know he's there to hug me, to look after me, and care. My daddy reads me stories, a new one every night. But can you guess what happens when he switches off the light?
I don't think it's that the kid goes to bed. What do you think?
My daddy flies a spaceship. He zooms among the stars. He scares away the aliens from Jupiter and Mars.
Right, because this kid likes aliens from Uranus, right? Neptune, sorry. Neptune's right.
My daddy is a wizard. He knows all sorts of spells. He calms the wild monsters and with the stories that he tells. They're actually pretty cute monsters.
Nothing scary in this book.
My daddy is my hero, and if I'm ever sad, he tickles me and makes me laugh and stops me from feeling bad.
I don't think I'll do that. Not a big tickler.
My daddy looks quite normal, no different from the rest.
This is a butt coming in.
But my daddy is the hero, the greatest dad, the best.
So
The end.
Daddy's my hero. The number one dad. Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome.
That was a great read. Always makes me feel special on Father's Day. This is coming before Father's Day, but still, I'll still feel special. So the second one I have is Hop on Pop. It's not only about fathers, but it's a fun book. And here to help me read, I have another daughter, and her name is Veronica. Hi, Veronica.
Hi.
Do you want to read the whole thing, or do you want to do alternating? Okay. There's a lot of pages in Dr. Seuss books. I'm gonna let Veronica read. Hop on Pop is Dr. Seuss book.
Up, pop, pop is up.
Cup, pup, pup and cup, pup cup, cup on pup.
Mouse, house, mouse on house. House, mouse, house on mouse.
The girls read these when they were younger, also, and we read them to them when they were even
All
younger.
tall, we all are tall. All small, we all are small.
All ball, we all play ball. Ball wall, up on a wall.
All fall off the wall. Day play, we play all day. Night fight, we fight all night.
He, me. He is after me. Him, Jim. Jim is after him. This one was a little scary for them, the girls when they were younger.
CB, we see a bee. CB3, now we see 3.
Usually it's not be after me. 3 tree. 3 fish in a tree. Fish in a tree? How can that be?
Red, red, call me red. Red bed, I'm in a bed.
Some people called the other daughter Red.
Red, Ned, Ted, and Ed in a bed.
We always like to figure out who is who. Pat, Pat. They call him Pat. Pat sat on a hat.
Pat, cat. Pat sat on a cat. Pat, bat. Pat sat on a bat. No, Pat, no, don't sit on that.
Hurt. Sad, dad. Bad had. Dad is sad. Very, very sad. He had a bad day. What a day Dad had. My day's not like that at all right now.
Sing, sing, what is that thing? Sing, sing, that thing can sing.
Song long, a long, long song. Goodbye, thing. You sing too long.
Walk, walk, we like to walk. Walk, talk, we like to talk. Hop, pop, we like to hop. We like to hop on top of pop. Stop, you must not hop on pop.
They're that little, I think it's okay. Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brown. Mr. Brown, upside down.
Pop up, brown down. Pop is down, where is brown?
Where is Brown? There is Brown. Mr. Brown is out of town.
Back, black, Brown came back. Brown came back with Mr. Black.
They're hanging out. Good thing he went far away. He has a new friend.
Snack,
Go ahead.
snack, snack. Eat a snack. Eat a snack with Brown and Black.
Jump bump, he jumped, he bumped. Fast pass, he went past fast. Went 10 cent, he went into the tent. I sent him out of the tent.
Wet get, 2 dogs get wet. Help yelp, they yelp for help.
Hill, Will. Will went up the hill. Will, hill still. Will is uphill still.
Father, mother, sister, brother. That one is my other brother.
Although she doesn't have brothers. My brothers read a little bit. Little words like if and it.
My father can read big words too, like Constantinople and Timbuktu.
I can read those words, but she didn't. Say, what does this say? Ask me tomorrow, but not today. And it says, see, he, me, we, pep, up, pop. He, three, tree, bee, top, hop, stop. And that's Hop and Pop. Thank you, Veronica. So, my wonderful daughters helped me read today, and that was very nice. We have one more story to read, and why did I pick this one? Well, this is a good one to, I think, get us going into the summer. Reminds us also to take action when something we learn is not right. And it shows us a particular character who does this without ceasing. He really embodies that active spirit. When something is morally wrong, you cannot stop until you've made your case and tried to make it right. Even if you don't succeed, you just tirelessly work at it, and perhaps someone will get the message. And the story is The Lorax, also a Dr. Seuss book. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no bird ever sing except old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. Excuse me. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. What's the Onceler? You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in the lurkum on the top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail in the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Looks like this kid has it all. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grooveless glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell for your ears alone. slop, down slips the whispermophone to your ear. And once the Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a sniggerly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It started way back, such a long, long way back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swoomy swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the Trufala trees. The bright-colored tufts of the Trufala trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Are we going to see the Onceler? He's always behind something, or underneath. And under the trees I saw the brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and our ate truffler fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. Sounds pretty pleasant. But those Trufala trees. All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had sweet smell of fresh buttery milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. No time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a Trufala tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of a stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy. And he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and if I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and he puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my Trufala tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses than that. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. Maybe not a good argument, because the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy, you can never tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radiophone. I put it in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts and I said, listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Wee Hawken. Sharp right at South Stitch. The Lorax is out there jumping away. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of trufula trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow, so I quickly invented a super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 trufula trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. Well, not just yet. But the next week he knocked at my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I am also in charge of the brown Barbaloots, who played in the shade in their Barbaloot suits and happily lived eating trufula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough trufula fruit to go around. My poor Barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies." They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. "Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. And all the Barbaloots marching away. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. The thneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth, to south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes, and that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and whiffed. He sneezed and snuffled, he snargled and sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a querulous croak, "Onceler, you're making such a smogulous smoke. My poor swomy swans, they can't sing a noise. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." Can't sing a note. "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go, I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog that you smogged up around here." Lorax seems to be a little bit more organized with other people. "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words of the gloopity cup. The machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity glup and schloppity schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you." "You're glumping the pond where the hummingfish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary." And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering, and biggering, and biggering, and biggering. Turn more trufula trees into thneeds, which everyone needs." True, but is the Onceler really have the right to do all that? And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside of the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree, Then we heard the tree fall, the very last trufula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more words to be done, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under their smoke-smothered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. Oh, it finally stopped. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backward glance. As he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place, through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. He did leave a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He let something fall. It's a trufula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the trufula seeds, and the trufula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new trufula, treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from the axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. And that's the end. So as we go off into the summer, with staying in sheltered in place, or maybe you're traveling to a summer home, or just somewhere to get away, remember that we still have some duties to do, some things to be a part of. And be mindful of those seeds that you see. We're not going to find the last trufula tree maybe, but as long as someone cares and someone plants new seeds, there will always be hope, and there will always be more growth to happen after we have parted this earth. So good night, and have a wonderful summer, and I will see you when it gets closer to the new program year of the church. And happy Father's Day, happy solstice, and happy Juneteenth to everyone.